This area expected to get more than 12 inches of snow, so I want to give you a look at where we are. They'll be using boats just like this. Organizers tell us this year's Pride Festival brought out an estimated 165,000 people. Good morning, and thank you for waking up with us here on NBC Charlotte. I'm Kendall Morris. Back to breaking news out of North Charlotte. If you're headed out early this morning, we've got a traffic alert that you need to know about. We're still waiting to learn the names of 2 people killed in 2 separate accidents on Interstate 40. This morning, a South Carolina farmer is facing charges after authorities say he was growing hemp illegally. NBC Charlotte's Brandon Goldner joins us live from the scene. Brandon, do we know what kind of threat they were dealing with? 6 months ago, Hurricane Florence swept through North Carolina, leaving town after town underwater. We're learning more about a bizarre incident out of New York City. That's where police say a man has been charged after sneaking a sword into the Empire State Building on Friday. One of the nation's most romantic cities is right here in the Carolinas. And Kahului, Hawaii, just 3 hours a year. As if you needed another reason to want to move to Hawaii. Just seems like fall already with football season starting up, but certainly the temperatures and weather out there, not quite fall like yet. New at 5, 3 high school students could face criminal charges after administrators say 2 of the students had sex in a school bathroom. That's while a third filmed and shared it on social media. According to investigators, they're accused of accepting bribes in exchange for getting visas to protect drug traffickers. What do you think is going to be the deciding factor for voters in this election? And tonight, we're trying to clear up some of that confusion. A post making the rounds on social media claims that heat can cause your windshield to crack. Tough loss for the Panthers last night, and Cam Newton not looking so hot. So are the skinny ties, are those considered more casual in menswear? I'm not very good at men's fashion here, so I'll take a note from you. Disney looks to keep the momentum rolling with a reboot of 1941's Dumbo. Playwright Rory Sheriff is back in the studio with us this morning to talk about his latest production here in Charlotte. It is called Boys to Baghdad. A Massachusetts police officer was sprayed while trying to save a distressed skunk. He was just trying to help the little guy. Now, if you take a look up this way, now this is the line where that water reached. I want to show you what the big issue is over here. You can see the path that car took this morning, first hitting that curb. A couple of easy ways to prevent this. You can put a piece of tape over that webcam or just close the computer altogether. But I think she summed it up best when she sent me a message back that said, "I am just thankful that I am one of the students that gets to go home alive tonight." Very powerful words when you think about it. This memorial back this way continues to grow out front of the department. It's just one way that people here in Mooresville are making sure that Officer Sheldon's life and sacrifice are remembered. Take a look here right now. CMPD's North Tryon Division still on scene at this shopping center. You can see this barricade around the sinkhole extends onto the sidewalk and into the street. It actually fell across this entire cul-de-sac and then crushed this car, falling on top of it. And with more rain in the forecast heading into Memorial Day weekend, that means people here are keeping an eye on the water. They want to make sure that they have funds for their students. This is Dwayne. Your sign stuck out to me. It says, "Because of teacher pay, ramen noodles are my bae." Explain it for me. I just want to show you here. I found you a tacky Christmas sweater. These things normally $60. They are just $19.99. What a deal for an ostrich sweater. Now, if you are inside the store, this is what those lines look like.
What is that one?
Christy and Mark DeJesus like to be involved in their children's education.
This should be easy for you.
They currently have 3 children at Doby's Bridge Elementary.
We heard so much about Fort Mill schools that we literally chose this area.
They were pleased with their choice until they found out what's going in next to the school.
We all just assumed a yoga studio, a yogurt store, a small business that we could really support.
A 7-Eleven gas station is slated for the space. Plans show the gas pumps and underground fuel storage tanks hundreds of feet from the school, leading parents like the DeJesuses to be concerned for the air their children will breathe.
I think about it at night. I can't sleep at night because I know the dangers of what's here, and I'm going to send my kids to school.
The property was zoned for commercial use before the school was built, meaning a gas station can legally be built there.
We're asking every question that we can, but legally, where they have it planned and where they have designed it, they have a right to put it.
City leaders say they're researching the environmental and health concerns.
We do care. We just have to go by the law and ensure that the work that we do is driven by research, experts, and that it's legal.
Now leading parents to question.
Just because it's legal doesn't make it right.
As they try to keep their children safe when they go to school.
A scooter just got hit by a car.
A shocking collision happening on the streets of Uptown.
I saw the whole thing go down, and this was disturbing.
Councilman Tarek Bakari says he was approaching the intersection of South Brevard and East 4th Street when he says a woman riding a scooter the wrong way down a one-way street collided with a van.
And I was like, oh no, oh no, oh no. And then just dead center smack hit and just I froze.
Medics says one patient was taken to the hospital with minor injuries. Councilman Bakari says he called 911 before sharing what happened on Facebook Live.
I didn't want to sensationalize it, but we're literally in the 11th hour of deciding how to regulate these things. And I just wanted everyone to see what I was seeing and feeling at the time.
The scooters first rolled onto Charlotte streets back in May without the city's approval. Since then, the city started a pilot program to collect data and learn how to regulate the scooters.
You can't regulate stupidity. And unfortunately, I think that was a case today of stupidity.
City council members have voiced concern over the scooters weaving in and out of traffic, often without helmets, putting rider and driver safety at risk.
Someone will die on an e-scooter before the end of this calendar year.
Earlier this month, a man reportedly riding a Lime scooter in Dallas fell off, called for help, and died hours later in surgery. And just last week, a man in D.C. riding a Lime scooter was hit and trapped under an SUV, later dying at the hospital.
Thank God she's alive. Thank God she's alive.
This accident in Charlotte now being considered a close call.
She should really count herself incredibly lucky that she's lived through that experience.
And a warning to all scooter riders to follow the rules of the road.
It is alive?
Yeah, and I see its mouth opening.
It's not the kind of animal you'd expect to find in a neighborhood like this in Union County.
Mostly just deer or snake.
But the Teja family had an unwanted reptilian visitor.
Right here, right behind the furniture.
Dan and his two kids walked outside to play basketball on Sunday.
That's when I saw its tail and its head.
Spotting something underneath the chair in the driveway.
I saw this reptile thing. I thought it was an iguana.
But it wasn't. Dan came face to face with this alligator.
It was kind of surreal and nervous because, we moved down from Northern Virginia and then, we never saw anything like that.
Animal control worked to wrangle the gator, giving it water to cool off on the hot summer day.
Oh my goodness.
Before safely taking it away from the home. North Carolina wildlife officers say it's not the typical find in a residential neighborhood.
Here, they shouldn't see them except for like going to a Discovery Place or the Asheboro Zoo.
Officers aren't sure where this one came from, but they don't believe it's wild.
We don't know if it was an oops, got out or out of its container, if it's a local or somebody's pet.
The Teja family is now just thankful their kids are okay.
I want to run.
Hoping this is one gator they don't see later.
Watch out. You never know what you find in North Carolina.